What's going on, Jerome's? What day is it? Is it Tuesday? Happy Tuesday out there, everyone, everywhere. Daily Jerome's live stream here to talk about Vikings for an hour, but really 45 minutes, probably 32 minutes, usually how it goes. Thank you very much for coming along, making us part of your day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come along for Daily Vikings Takes. I always love Tuesdays as well because Tuesdays are film day and also charting day. Charting is a pain in the ass, so watch the charting video so that my work does not go in vain. I need to hire someone to do that, but whatever. So let's see here. Live stream is up. All right, so diving into the questions. Manogiscus. Imagine if we had 99, we would have a stew going, a stew cooking. Yeah. Or if they had held on to Yannick, but I get it. Peter Erickson, when will James Lynch start seeing significant snaps? That's a good-looking question. How many snaps did he play on Sunday? Probably not a lot. Let's go look that up. Armon Watts is playing better. Jaleel Johnson is getting some things done, so that's good. James Lynch, as well as Shamar Stephen, had himself a nice game. Got half a sack. Noted edge rusher Shamar Stephen, or pass rusher Shamar Stephen. All right, so he didn't play week 9. Was he a healthy scratch? Anyway, let's see. Next up is Mark Jr. Is the reason Holton Hill was put on the exempt list because he made Chad Beebe look bad during practice by actually covering him? That's the whole reason why Chad Beebe is a thing. Not because he has this monster production from Northern Illinois. He did not. Not because he can stay healthy. He did not. But it's because Zimmer said, well, no one could cover him in practice. We're talking about practice, man. But yeah, apparently they never fully clarified this, but apparently what happened is that Holton Hill was put on the exempt list because he had missed a COVID test. So all of the rampant speculation, because when you hear exempt list, you think bad things. And with Holton Hill, sometimes bad things happen. So I think that's an L on the Vikings and the league part, so for not clarifying that right away. Nick Van Anda. How would you feel if the Vikings draft a Wyatt Davis and trade up for Mac Jones? I'd be okay with that. I'd be in. I like Mac Jones as a distributor, and Wyatt Davis is the best card in the draft. I mean, let's go. Andy Shong, thoughts on Dalvin running 300 yards on the Bears? Could you imagine? Oh, the big bad Chicago Bears, blah, blah, blah. They are down RRH, so he's going on injured reserve. That's big, because he was the guy week 4 that destroyed the Vikings, because remember, Akeem Hicks was hurt. And also, I mean, the Bears defense is good. This is not an elite Bears defense. This is not even like Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher. Well, it's pretty high. But I mean, sure, they're top 5 in the league. Yeah. But top 5 in 2020's NFL? Meh. Nova Elite. If we had a preseason, could we have been doing this all year? Yes. Yeah. But also, a lot of other teams would have clearly benefited from preseason, so it is what it is. Chase and Gelke, what is your go-to food that you were always in the mood for? Also, what is your favorite type of food, meaning Mexican, Asian, Italian, etc.? Type of food that you're always in the mood for? I'm a big breakfast food guy, even though we don't always eat breakfast, but there's something about like eggs, or like a nice Denver omelet and some bacon and some sausage. Just getting after it. So a little bit of hash browns in there too. Woo! Why not? Or since I'm Asian, what's really good is like a nice clump of sticky rice, which is good. Favorite type of food? Ironically, it's not Asian. It would be a favorite type. I'm pretty agnostic. Like I don't have hey, this is my always go-to, but I mean, tacos are always good. Asian food's always good. Pizza, spaghetti, whatnot, burgers, and everyone's good. Can I say though, like German food is really underrated. Get yourself some schnitzel, and spatzel, and some red cabbage, and a spaten. It's good. Zach Farmer. Sushi's really good. I changed my answer. Everything. It's sushi. Zach Farmer. Are you concerned with Dalvin's workload at all? Maybe towards the end of the game. Every time he's tackled, kind of funny. I have a mini heart attack. End of the game stuff. I think that it's good to sparse him out. They did that against the Lions. After the 70-yard touchdown, I think he had 2 more carries, and then it was like finito. But yeah, give him work as long as it's in the script of the game. But after that, pull for skull. Although it would be kind of hard for him to get 297 because I think Dalvin certainly could. I mean, the Vikings offensive line is really feeling itself, and some of the run defenses that they have coming up on the schedule. I mean, yum. I mean, Cowboys. I mean, Panthers. I mean, Jaguars. Let's go. Pull for skull. Pop quiz. Who is the Vikings' highest rated defensive player Sunday? Hint, he's really turned the corner. See, I think it's Gladney. El Jefe. There you go. Eric, we're doing a video on El Jefe. We're going to take a look at a couple of his plays. Eric Normal. Do you think Zimmer will do a no country for old man move and plug Elfline back into the starting lineup? No, not with the way that Ezra Cleveland's playing. Jeff Mom, how do you think DJ Wyman and Danielle Hunter will be next season? And DJ, Afadi, maybe Jalen Holmes. Well, yeah, Jalen Holmes will be back because he'll be on the 4th year of his rookie deal. But I think they'll have a nice thing going. And all of the national draft pundits will be like, oh, well, the Vikings need to go edge in the first round. And you start seeing that in the mock drafts where they're like, edge. No, Vikings need a defensive interior guy. They need that 3-tech, especially if they're not going to play James Lynch. Portfoot Skull. The Bears fans are arguing who should the starter be. This is epic. Bear Dan. Who the starter should be? With Foles? Yeah. Tristan Bailey, can you say Trace, Jake, Jackson, your Bears are getting smoked on Monday night? They are. Smoked bear. Make sure you cook it all the way through so you don't get trigonosis. Yeah. I love starting to keep around. Hey, thank you. Samson Romaine, is Dalvin the best running back that Coobs has ever had? So he had Terrell Davis in Denver when he was OC, so it's tough to beat a Hall of Famer. Arian Foster in Houston. I mean, people forget Arian Foster for about 3 to 4 years was top 2, top 3 running back. He's up there with Adrian Peterson. Like he was a dude, man. He was an absolute dude. So I don't think Dalvin has reached peak Arian Foster yet. But if he stays healthy all year and then he does it for 2 more years, I mean, sure, we talk about that. And then let's see, Baltimore, that 1 year he had Justin Forsett. When he was head coach of the Broncos, he had like Vikings legend Ronnie Hillman and like C.J. Anderson. So I'm going to put Dalvin number 3 as of right now. TD 1, Foster 2. Yeah. Also, so Dalvin has 12 touchdowns through 8 team games, but really he only played 6.5. LaDainian Tomlinson's single season rushing touchdown record is 28. We come in. DP, how many picks is our defense going to get against full Trubisky? 2. Take 2. Kevin Ace. Also, Trubisky got hurt running a Wildcat play. He missed last week's game. Kevin Ace, I just wanted the O-line video against Detroit. The last play you showed wasn't Brian O'Neill. Play as Ezra. Yeah. I went back and checked on that. It was late. That's my bad. Ben Evans. If we go 10-6 and don't get a high enough first-round pick for top 5 quarterbacks, what do you think about using first on offensive line, a third on wide receiver, and drafting Desmond Ridder as a day 2 pick? I'm super intrigued by Ridder, man. All right, so Desmond Ridder, he's big. He's got a big arm. He's probably the most mobile. Now, I think Derek King is the most mobile quarterback in the draft. I think Ridder is a running quarterback, but also has insane arm talent, accuracy, TBD there. But he's perfectly suited for the college game. I think Luke Fickell and Cincinnati are doing phenomenal things. How are they ranked? Did they get into the top 5? Let's see. AP college rank. All right, so Cincy's at 7. Nah, it's an ESPN college rankings. Weren't they 6? Week 11. There we go. And hence, Cincy's at 7. They drop 1. How? All right, so I guess Texas A&M and Florida moved up. Sure, whatever. BYU. Let's go. this would be the year for the 18 playoff, just for the weirdness. Like, even though I don't think that BYU could beat Bama, I want to see Zach Wilson and the little engines that could, the Cougars, against Bama and that defense. Come on. Next up is 3 firsts, 1 second, and Cousins for Watson. Who says no? 3 firsts. 3 firsts and a second. I would do 2 firsts and a second and Kirk for Watson. 3's a little rich. Seth V. Herman. Mainly because I like Deshaun. Deshaun is not Mahomes. Deshaun is not peak Russ yet. Seth V. Herman. What do you think happened to Holton Hill? His rookie year, he looked like he could be the most talented quarterback on the roster. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he just came in at a high level, but just sort of topped out, sort of peaked. It's possible. Miles, which Vikings player would you go to space with? Go to space with. Let's see here. Probably Chad Beebe because he used up the least oxygen in case we had trouble. Nah. What's up? Space. We need someone smart. Who went to a smart school? Nobody did. How do they not have any Stanford players? Yeah, well, Rudy went to Notre Dame, sure. Harrison went to Notre Dame. Ain't from Vanderbilt? No. Kari Blossom game. How do they not have any Harvard players this time around? Harvard. God, it's going to be rough. Not Nate Stanley. He's too big. He's going to take up too much room in the cockpit. Yeah, I'll just take Chad Beebe. Why not? Patrick Harms. What was going through Adrian's mind when he was watching Dalvin? I do like that 3 of Dalvin's biggest games were with Adrian in the building. So, he ran for $127. His NFL debut when Adrian came in with the Saints. He ran for he had a combined like 160 yards from scrimmage when he came in with Washington last year, and then he just did that on Sunday. It's funny. I think that Adrian's like, I could still do that. Probably. Yeah. Let us know where you're watching from. We give a couple shout outs. I was enjoying doing that. Next up, Steve Patton. I was a big Zach Wilson skeptic when you initially put him into your mock draft, but this guy can ball. Having said that, would you take him in the first round or Wyatt Davis first and Derek King third? Wyatt Davis is good, man. And I do have a lot of love for Derek King. I think it's more outsized than other people. But I would still take Wilson. Yeah, I think Wilson is that dude. It wouldn't shock me at all if Wilson ends up being the third quarterback off the board. King of the North. Did you notice a player on the bench next to Wilson with a GPS ankle monitor? I couldn't exactly tell who's or bar. I don't know. Is it on our list? Are you sure it was an ankle monitor or was it like an ankle brace? So, nah. Westworld. Zach Wilson is low-key kind of cute. No homo or anything. All right. Julian Watron. 3 favorite players on the team right now. Dalvin Jefferson. Dalvin Jefferson Kendricks. I almost went Brian O'Neill, but Kendricks is the man. Zach Ballas. How do you think TJ Hawkinson is doing? Worth 8th overall so far. I think he's doing great. Minus the whole offensive pass interference that wasn't called against our guy Chris Jones. But I really liked Hawkinson out of Iowa. It's just annoying that now he's a stupid Lion, so I have to cheer against him. But Jake James, how is Dakota Dozier doing amidst the O-line improving? He's really good in the run game. He's been what he is in terms of pass protection, but I can see why Dennison gave so much favor to him because it does seem like he and Reef are starting to gel. I think that's that veteran connection right there. So, it's good to see you. Love and respect that. Evan Casconaway, if you go back, would you have taken Jalen Johnson over Gladney, or do you still have faith in Gladney will get better? I really like Gladney. I just really love Jalen Johnson. But taking Gladney in the first, I fully understand that. I get why Johnson dropped because teams maybe were spooked off by the labrum. But he's had his ups and downs with the Bears this year. But overall, he's playing pretty well. Now, if the Vikings had taken Gladney and, so, no, you're keeping Jefferson, you're keeping Gladney. if you moved in the second round, maybe you don't get Ezra Cleveland. Screw Jalen. Screw Jalen. Menogiscus, what cornerbacks would you have covering the Bucs receivers? I don't think that you need to have them trailing anyone, because I think that if Cameron Dantzler's back, have him on the outside with Chris Boyd. Though Harrison Hand was playing well before he got hurt. And Chris Jones looks good, man. Like, I know that Chris Jones got dinged because of the touchdown as well as the defensive holding, even though that wasn't holding. I think he looked good. You do like his length. He looks super comfortable back there as well. So I would start Gladney and Dantzler, and then when you kick in the nickel, Gladney on the inside and bring in Chris Jones. Yeah, and just play sides. You don't have to follow. You don't have to follow Evans or Godwin or whatever. Jacob Mejia Meggett. Do you think Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are going to get more action? Yeah, I think as teams creep up and put multiple guys in the box, 7, 8, 9, I think that you're going to see some shots, especially off of play action, because teams are really starting to creep up and bite. It's good stuff. So here, a couple shout-outs. Joseph Godfrey, skull from Buffalo, Minnesota. Why don't you come out tonight? Seth V. Herman, a skull from Fargo. Jacob Mejia Meggett, Oakdale in the house. Let's see here. Purple Rain, skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Tommy Johnson, Take Tommy Thompson, skull from Omaha, Nebraska. Patrick Harms, skull from the planet Remulak. Mike Benham, skull from Grand Rapids. What's going on? Let's see here. Joseph Godfrey, skull from the Buffalo, Minnesota. Ankle monitor. Hey, if you can find me a timestamp for the ankle monitor on the replay, do it, because I want to take a look. I'm interested now. Viking Jerome, skull from Visalia, California, home of Taylor's Chili Dogs. Scolger Soup, skull from Minneapolis. What's up? William Whitaker, skull from Killeen, Texas. What's up? Michael Burtyek, skull, beat the Bears from Alabama. What's up? Roll Tide. Manuel M61, skull from Mira Loma, California. CA, what's going on? Amit Mather, skull from Wyzetta, Western Burbs representing. Alejandro Rich, skull from Mexico City. Westworld, skull from Asiago. I love your cheese. Shaq Edwards, Jersey in the house. Mark Sonerberg, skull from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. I got dated a girl from Rhinelander once in college. She was all right. Julian Hope, skull from Dusseldorf, Germany. Guten Tag. Garrett M. Skull from Lake Ozarks, Missouri. Now, I really love the show Ozark, except I never watched the final season or the most recent season for some reason. Just never turned on. Ken Boy Johnson, skull from Warren, Minnesota. Nick Mart, 28, skull from Cottage Grove. What up? Evan Cascanaway, Toronto, the 6. Canned Laughter, skull from San Diego. Gorgeous. Wales, Vagina. Chiro Defense, skull Vikings Horns. Ian Oman, Aitken, Minnesota. What's going on? Man. Lots of people on the stream. Love it. Brooklyn Park, Wayzata. That's the U being the U. Parker, Colorado. Cottage Grove, North Carolina. Wellington, Florida. 169 South. Battle Lake, Minnesota. Skull from Maryland. St. Paul. Rayshon Ivory, our guy. What's up? Cottage Grove in the Hizzy, Montreal, Lake Okoboji, Cottage Grove, Wall, South Dakota, from the UK as well. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. Flooded. We got a good day. Woo. All right, so next up is Kevin Ace. That Veronica Vaughn is the one piece of ace. Do you think we trade that for that Miami pick or Chargers pick and take Zach Wilson if he's available? It's not really been Spielman's nature to trade upward in the draft. You know, besides trading into the back end of the first round, which a lot of teams do. See Trevor Lawrence falling first. Nah, I don't see Trevor Lawrence falling. Like so Justin Fields has been overshadowed by Trevor Lawrence every single step of the way. Like, Justin Fields is an all-time great recruit, but he was overshadowed by Lawrence in the recruiting class. And then, you know, when he was sitting behind Jacob Eason at Georgia, Lawrence is doing his thing. But I think it'll still carry over. I think it's still clearly Trevor Lawrence 1. It's been Lawrence number 1 for the last 3 years. And even though Justin Fields is jacking fools, I mean, he did that last year too. Evan Casconaway. What do you think about Christian Barmore in the third? If we go quarterback in the first, I think Barmore is going to go a little bit higher than that. I could see him as a high second-round pick. But, man, there's a lot of talent down that defensive interior, man. So this class is deep. Quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback, offensive tackle. It's kind of thin on offensive interior, to be honest, as well as those defensive interior guys. I mean, J.U. Tufele, Christian Barmore. It's a good class. Samuel Salinger Skull. Best stadium besides US Bank Stadium? Not the Falcon Stadium, because that turf is garbage to look at on TV. I mean, it's rough. They really should have thought about that, because it doesn't even look like grass, man. Best stadium. So I'm a bit of a history nerd, and it's unfortunate to say, but no, just kidding. Nah. Yeah, there isn't really like a stadium that is held in high regard historically. You know, like old Yankee Stadium, Wrigley Field in baseball, or, you know, Madison Square Garden in basketball. Because, you know, bigger and new is always better, right? But I guess old Cowboy Stadium, when they had the hole in the roof so God could watch his team on Sundays. No, it's like you didn't have enough money to finish the roof. Tell the truth. And then Soldier Field is really cool. I didn't like when they put the spaceship on it, but I get it. You need more seats and modern amenities and all that stuff. Plus, Bears fans are wider, so you need to widen the seats. Face. All right, next up. Oh, Fenway too? Yeah. Also, what happened to Josh Klein? He's there chilling. Love channel. Skull. Hey, thank you. Waz Wumble. The way our O-line is playing, do you think the Bears get 4 or more sacks? Less. I think that, especially establishing the run, and if you wear out Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn just a little bit, just a little smidge, just ease up, take a little stank and a little polish off of that. Plus, Riley Reef playing much better this year. I mean, come on. Reef versus Chicago. Yeah, because even in that game, you know, that Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving game where Khalil Mack hip-tossed Riley Reef, he didn't give up a sack that game. I don't think he gave up pressure that game either. Griffin Creer, Eric Wilson, last 3 years of Anthony Barr. Damn straight. Westworld, have you ever visited Grand Marais and Two Harbors area? Yes. Beautiful, gorgeous up there. Also, my team, my high school team that I played on, we won the state championship game, Class A 2002, against something Butterfield Odin, and that's up there near like Cloquet and stuff. So cool. Evan Casconaway. Do you dislike LaMarcus Joyner for that hit on Teddy? Yes. Was that more of a cheap shot, the one LaMarcus, or the recent one in the Falcons game? I don't remember the Falcons one, but the LaMarcus one was pretty egregious. Also, it hurts even more because LaMarcus like grew up with Teddy, like they played high school ball against each other. Luke Zacher, thoughts on having Ezra at right guard and Reef at left tackle long term? I don't want Reef at left tackle any longer than next year. I think he certainly earned next year, sure, but long term, I think that Ezra just balling out of right guard, it's fine. And if you pick up a left tackle prospect down the line, or maybe Blake Brandel really comes along, sure. But I still think keep an eye on Ezra at left tackle. Wreck Clan, I poop a lot. What about everyone else here? Just pooping, you know how I be. Tristan Bailey, Kirk Peterson, Moss, and Jefferson, or Culpepper, Dalvin, Carter, and Thielen. Culpepper, Dalvin, Carter, and Thielen. Yeah, get your roll on, baby. Canned laughter. Let's be honest, it's the Lions we beat. T-Rag, if the Vikings beat the Bears on Monday night, is it crazy to think that we'll win? All right, so yeah, on this, Vikings don't make the schedule. And also, have the Packers been dissected for who they played, who they beat? Nah. You play who you play. T-Rag, if the Vikings beat, because they could have lost to the Lions, or it could have been, the game could have been in doubt. please. T-Rag, beat the Bears on Monday night. Is it crazy to think that they'll win every game the rest of the season? Well, the two games that still concern me the most are at Tampa, Week 14, and the Week 16 at the Saints. Of course, both road games. It's whatever. But, I mean, the Saints at times this year have looked infinitely beatable. Maybe not on Sunday night. And the Bucs, I don't put a whole lot of stock in that Sunday night game where they got woodshedded. Sometimes it just happens. Just be what it be. Sometimes it's just not your night. But I think they're still a very good team with a solid defense. Siona Gona, I think that they were the number one running defense team before Sunday night. Siona Gona, how bad do you think Jaleel is, and why Lynch should be starting over? Jaleel's actually playing better. I still think that Lynch should be playing and starting, or at minimum getting 30 snaps a game, but Shiver Timbers, if the Vikings fall to the Bears, is the playoffs hopes dead? Take a big hit, especially since the Bears are slightly ahead of them in the pecking order, both in the division and in the wild card race. So, they wouldn't be dead, but they take a pretty significant hit. Daniel Olson, who is better, Nathan Peterman or Christian Ponder? Ponder. Ponder actually had good games. Peterman, no. Patrick Harms, correct me if I'm wrong. If the Vikings want Hercules to play, which they should, does that mean they have to sign him to the active roster? They did just sign him to the active roster last week. But yeah, if he was still on the practice squad, they would have had to call him up. Well, technically, they wouldn't, because they could still call him up from the practice squad, but he wouldn't be protected from waivers when he went back down after 2. Samuel McMullen, can you buy me a Dalvin Cook jersey? Buy it yourself, man. They make money every day. Waz Wumble, if the Bears somehow stop Dalvin Cook, but our defense shuts down the Bears offense, which, do you think we'll win even though I think our defense will do stuff? I think the Bears offense is terrible, plus David Montgomery is in the concussion protocol. He may not play on Monday night. So right now, the Bears running back options would be Cordero. There's a UDFA that I believe is on the roster, as well as Lamar Miller's on the practice squad. That's then also, if they do shut down Dalvin, I mean, the Bears secondary has kind of struggled. Besides Fuller, they've really been tough. So Jalen Johnson's been up and down, mainly up, a lot down as well. Buster Screen working from the slot is no great shakes. Eddie Jackson's been struggling. Tayshaun Gibson's been struggling. So I actually wouldn't mind. If the Bears sell out to stop Dalvin, and if they can still get a little bit of play action going, and if Cousins doesn't make any boneheaded mistakes, I'll take Jefferson. I'll take Irv. Gotta hope Irv's healthy. If Irv Smith really injured himself celebrating, nah. And, of course, Adam Thielen. DP, if we make the playoffs and got beat in the division round, would you still want Zimmer to go and bring in Bieniemy? Made playoffs and got beat in the division. Well, since they're not going to get a bye, that means they won a wild card game. So, now I think you hang on to Zimmer. But, I like and respect Kubiak, but maybe bringing in a different quarterback coach, a little bit freshening up, Shiver Timbers. Or, if Joe Brady wants a head coaching interview, which he's going to get some this offseason, man. Shiver Timbers, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but how much do you trust Dan Bailey to make a game-winning field goal? About as far as I can throw him. Capri Sun, and also the Vikings just got Chase McLaughlin poached by the Jaguars. Bah! If we make the playoffs, how badly would you want to beat the Saints, or would it be beating a dead horse at this point? Now I think the Vikings already made the point. Although it is always fun to beat the Saints. Because it's not like the Saints just played a clean game. That 2009 NFC title game, everyone knows. I mean, they essentially ended the careers of 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, because Brett Favre was not the same after that. Kurt Warner, I believe that was his last game. So, screw Greg Williams right in the face. Randy Moss, the boss. Tua versus Herbert. Who do you think will win? Chargers, maybe 2-6. They're the best 2-6 team ever. Yeah, the Chargers, man. The Chargers is rough. I mean, being a Chargers fan is like being a Vikings fan with better weather, but I think they're both going to be good. But give me 2. I think the Dolphins are really hot right now. Cyberboy123. Who is a bigger bust, Kelvin Benjamin or Vernon Hargraves? Well, Kelvin Benjamin is like 300 pounds, so I guess that's larger. Both were supposed to be generational talents. I mean, no, what was it with Hargraves? Oh yeah, that's right. Because Hargraves was sort of eh. I don't know, man. Where's Hargraves now? Is he on the Texans practice squad? No, he's on the Texans, but man, he's bad. Don't work out with the Bucks. Punted on him. It's rough. I don't know if Hargraves was supposed to be like a generational talent. I thought he was just good. Benjamin, I think people knew. Limited route tree, never got separation, questionable work ethic. He was just big. I mean, him and Cam worked out for a while, but nah. Both were right, 7-heaven. If we make the playoffs and are in the late teens, early 20s, who should we go? At that stage, I don't know. Mac Jones is there, sure. Maybe Sam Cosmi, the tackle from Texas, down there, sure. Maybe Alex Leatherwood, the tackle from Alabama. Oh, by the way, when we say tackle, a lot of these guys have guard flexibility as well. And that's what sort of bugs me. It's like when you do a mock draft where you talk about a prospect, it's like, we don't need a tackle, we need a guard. Well, the tackle can play guard, dumbass. But see who else would be there. Maybe Creed Humphrey. Yeah. Trey Smith would be fine. Not really a scheme fit, though. Cornerback class is interesting. It is super deep. But next up is Evan Casconaway. Although I don't think the Vikings get away with drafting a cornerback in the first round if you don't have a second round pick. Is Kyle Sluter the backup now for the Bears? Magic Foles getting injured this week, and Sluter leads the Bears to a fourth quarter comeback. Would you prefer Sluter or Mannion? I would prefer Sluter as the Vikings backup right now. He signed to the practice squad. I don't think he's going to be called up for Sunday because even though they only have Foles and Trubisky on the active roster, I believe they have Tyler Bray, who's been in the system, on the practice squad, so he probably would be backup over Sluter. Waz Wumble, if you could build a D-line, who would you put on it? Any player in the NFL? Well, a healthy Daniil. Let's see, a healthy Daniil. Take Myles Garrett as the other edge rusher. Aaron Donald as the 3-tech. And the nose tackle. Actually, I'll just eschew a nose tackle and just take Chris Jones. I'll do that. Evan Casconaway. How will the Bears' offensive line fare with their two best linemen in Cody Ware and James Daniels? They hurt? Good. Poorly. Miles, what's more likely, 11-5 or below 8-8? 11-5. Robert Barweiler, would it be better to trade Anthony Barr or just cut him? I don't think any team is trading for that contract, so I think you're just going to have to cut him. Charlie Boltman, are the Vikings going to F up the offseason by letting Wilson walk and keeping Barr because he's under contract? They might, especially because of the the loyalty shown with Zimmer and Barr. But what type of pick tender will the Vikings put on Wilson? I don't think they can tender him because he was an RFA this year. They put the second round tender on him. I don't think that they franchise tag him. That seems a little excessive. I think that they could work out an extension with him. Amit Mather, how far do you think Zach Wilson will fall? God, maybe 6 now. Or maybe it's a little bit too early a hype because it's a long way to go till April, man. Also, love your channel and keep up the great work. Hey, thank you. But also, I mean, look at the rest of BYU's schedule. Even if they get into a pretty top-tier bowl game, I mean, Zach Wilson's just going to look great. No sweats. Waz Wumble. I know before I said that our O-line is playing good, so will the Bears get 4 or more sacks? I don't think they will allow much sacks, but give me an exact prediction of how many times Kirk will be on the ground. God, 5? Sure. Miles, exact prediction. Miles, are you worried about the Saints now that they killed the Bucs? No, not really. Because you never get too high or too low about things. Just wasn't the Bucs night. Sometimes you just don't show up. Sometimes things just don't go your way. Zach Ballas. Now, if it happens continually and like clockwork, and then you're Zimmer. Zach Ballas, entire NFC West lost. NFC East is garbage. NFC South only has two real contenders, but can cannibalize themselves. Vikings control their own destiny. Absolutely, they do. Win out, revenge, 38-7 at Philly. I was just thinking about that. If the Vikings somehow get the 5 seed, kind of unlikely, but say they do, and the Eagles are clearly going to be the 4 seed if they hang on to the East. But man, or could you imagine the Cowboys somehow getting off the carpet and winning the East at like 6-9? Man. Lastly, Viking Aggie 2028. Would you rather the Vikings get a Super Bowl but lose by 1 point, or the Vikings go 3-13 and trade 2 first-round picks to the Jets to draft Trevor Lawrence? I would prefer the Super Bowl. Like, I know that Trevor Lawrence is going to be that bee's knees, but if you got to the Super Bowl, and it's unfortunate that you lost, but a lot of things must be clicking with the players, with the coaching staff, with everything. So having a Super Bowl caliber team, especially one where it goes down to the wire, I will take that as opposed to just moving heaven and earth for Trevor Lawrence. It's tough though, man. It's tough. There's a lot of Vikings fans who would roll the dice with Lawrence because, I mean, with a quarterback, you're trying to get to the Super Bowl. You are. Right? And how many... so Jared Goff's been to the Super Bowl. What about Carson Wentz? How many Super Bowls he's been to? How many Super Bowls Andrew Luck gone to? How many Super Bowls has number 1 overall pick Jameis Winston gone to? What about Marcus Mariota, number 2 overall pick? Right now, if you had to wager, does Kyler Murray make it to a Super Bowl? It's probably a big underdog, isn't he? Yeah, it's just crazy. Crazy stuff. Oh, how many Super Bowls Baker's going to go to besides being a backup? Huh? All right, so that is it. That's the Daily Jerome's live stream. That was a good question. We need more like that. Thank you very much for coming along. Subscribe for Daily Vikings takes, and it's a good day. Have yourself a good Tuesday. Back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Skull, production value.